I remember watching Ratatouille when I was younger. And there's this really famous scene that stuck with me ever since. It's the scene where Remy tries the strawberry and the cheese. I'll be honest, it never went well. But it did make me realize how life didn't have to be just black and white. Sometimes it just needs a little gray. And that gray can create definition in our lives, showing contrast, like artwork. I am a student graduating in a couple of years, and over the years, I participated in a multitude of activities. I'm a seasoned debater, Trinity-level pianist, was lead in my school musical, and secretary at my school council. So it's safe to say that I'm a pretty indecisive person. But I wasn't always like this. If you asked me a few years ago, I would have never dreamt of being on this stage here today. Because back then, I had a belief that I would never do well in life if I didn't put all my efforts into one area. Now I think otherwise, and that was because I read a quote that resonates with me to this day. It's a quote widely acclaimed to be a direct attack on William Shakespeare by a writer named Robert Grant. If you haven't guessed by now, or if you haven't read the dog title, it's a jack of all trades, is a master of none. Now, at the time, it felt like a bunch of random words put in a sentence. Didn't make sense. So, I put this quote to the back of my head, never to be seen again. The end. Is what I would say if I didn't find the second part of the quote. So the full quote is, a jack of all trades is a master of none, though oftentimes better than a master of one. The shortened version is often used negatively, but the longer version is used to celebrate the jack of all trades as more effective. But what is the main dilemma being posed in the quote? Well, a jack of all trades is a person competent in several fields, a generalist by definition. By that logic, we can say that a master of one is a specialist. So, the dilemma in the quote is generalist versus specialist. Now, this isn't something new. Philosophers have been going on about it for millennia, but none have been as influential to the topic as Isaiah Berlin. Now, Isaiah Berlin was a philosopher who was really credited for writing an essay, The Hedgehog and the Fox. The essay divides writers and thinkers at the time into two phases. Hedgehogs, who viewed the world through the lens of a single defining idea, and foxes, who draw on a wide variety of experiences, and from whom the world cannot be boiled down to a single idea. Now, great minds have taken both sides of the debate, but in Berlin's essay, we see Team Hedgehog with great minds like Plato, Dostoevsky, and Nietzsche. These philosophers considered all philosophies in one unifying idea and explained that that idea could explain everything. Plato did it through his theory of forms. Dostoevsky did it through the explanation of faith and morality, and Nietzsche did it through the will to power. But on the other side is Team Fox, with other great speakers like Aristotle, Shakespeare, and Goethe. Aristotle was known for influencing various fields, and there's even a book published with all the works which he has made. Goethe was a German writer who was never able to find the one field he was into. He has influence in biology, in theater, and in color theory, etc. He was able to embrace the variety, the change, and the complexity of life. And Shakespeare, do I even need to mention Shakespeare? I mean, Robert Grant disregarded him as someone who dabbled in various arts but never excelled in one when he said the quote, jack of all trades, master of none. But, as we all know, that was false, as you can see from his legacy. And it is funny to see how this once quote evolved from criticism to a TEDx speech. Now, if you ask me who I am, I'll tell you that I'm a fox. They like to use their indecisiveness of not being able to pick one subject to their advantage, to help out people and to shape more fields than hedgehogs could ever. And I'm also a high school student, which means I have to face the dreaded path of college applications. But I am so thankful that I was gifted with the indecisiveness of not being able to pick one subject, that it gives me the liberty to add all these accolades to my resume. Having the mentality to expand your skill set and to be a Swiss knife of all fields is very good when it comes to getting employed and getting job opportunities. And a person who has multiple skills, even if they're not an expert in any one, can be far more resourceful in real-world situations. A well-rounded person can adapt, improvise, and change the field in numerous ways, more ways than a specialist could ever. So now I leave you with the question, whether you would want to be a fox or a hedgehog, or in other words, is the jack of all trades better than the master of one? Thank you.